Imagine this. You suspect the woman you married, the mother of your children, is sneaking around. Your heart screams betrayal, but you need proof. And when you finally uncover the truth, you don't just confront her, you burn her entire affair down so hard that her lover loses his wife, his kids, his job, and even his home. That's exactly what I did. If you've ever prayed that karma would punish the people who hurt you, smash that like button, because this story is proof that justice always finds its way back. Way back in the early 2000s, life seemed ordinary. I was married with two little kids, 4 and 6. We were building a family, a life. But then, small things started to bother me. My kids, innocent as they were, started talking about staying at their grandparents' house a lot. Not once a month, not even once a week. No, 2 or 3 times a week, which was strange because her parents lived an hour and a half away. Every time I asked my wife why she was making the drive so often, she brushed it off. "Oh, the kids love spending time there," she'd say, but the way her eyes darted away, the way her voice tightened, I knew something wasn't right, so I did what any desperate husband would do. I started tracking the mileage on her car, and when the numbers came in, an extra 400 miles a week, my stomach dropped. Something was going on, something ugly. One afternoon, fate handed me a weapon. She left a sticky note by the computer with her AOL password scrawled across it. My hands shook as I typed it in. I knew I was crossing a line, but the truth had to come out, and there it was, emails. Conversations between her and her college best friend. They weren't just catching up. No. They were laughing about how my wife was sleeping with one of her high school ex-boyfriends. And to twist the knife deeper, she was mocking his wife, saying how she'd let herself go after having kids. My vision blurred. Rage, humiliation, betrayal, they all crashed over me. But I didn't slam the laptop shut. I didn't confront her. I printed every single email and stashed them away. I needed more. I needed everything. I called a friend, a cop. He connected me to Ron, a private investigator who had seen it all. I handed Ron the emails, the mileage logs, everything. A week later, he came back with a report so detailed it made me sick. Photos, dates, times, all laid out like a murder scene. My wife would drop the kids at her parents', meet her ex for lunch, then vanish into a rundown motel for hours before picking the kids up again, acting like nothing happened. That was the breaking point. My parents had cheated on each other when I was a kid. The chaos, the screaming, the way it ripped our childhood apart. I swore I'd never put my kids through that, and here she was, playing the same poisonous game. But I wasn't just after her. No. I wanted the man she thought was worth destroying our family for. Ron dug deeper. The guy's name was Bob, married, 3 kids, a VP of sales at his father-in-law's company, living in a house owned by his in-laws. On the surface, he was successful, respected, stable. Behind closed doors, he was a coward risking everything, and I was about to make sure he lost it all. I hired a divorce lawyer. The paperwork was ready, but I wanted impact. I wanted shockwaves. So I set the stage the same day my wife was served at her job. Papers dropped right into her hands in front of co-workers. Ron paid a visit to Bob's wife. He didn't just tell her, he showed her everything. Photos, timelines, emails. The ugly truth, printed in black and white. What she did next? That's where karma showed its teeth. His wife went nuclear. She cleaned out their joint bank account, took the kids, left. When her father, Bob's boss, found out, Bob was immediately fired. The house they lived in, owned by her parents. He was evicted, but that was just the start. Their divorce turned into a battlefield. Public court documents showed blow-ups, restraining orders, criminal charges. In one incident, Bob stormed back to the house, screaming. His brother-in-law stepped in. One broken nose later, Bob had a police record. He spiraled, lost his job, lost his family, lost his home. Eventually, he lost his reputation so badly he had to leave the state. And me? I never lifted a finger against him. All I did was shine a light on the truth. My wife and I divorced. I didn't drag her through the mud. I didn't need to. I only talked to her when it was about the kids. Now that they're grown, we don't speak at all. She's just someone I used to know. But Bob? He vanished. No trace online. No career. No standing. He was erased by his own choices. Meanwhile, his ex-wife thrived. She went to work at her dad's company, eventually taking it over after he retired. She rebuilt her life while Bob crumbled into nothing. But that was just the beginning. What happened next shocked even me. Before revealing, Bob's wife cleaned him out. And just when I thought karma had done enough. It went even further. Before the broken nose plus charges scene, I thought I'd feel empty after revenge. But what happened instead surprised me. Before reflective wrap-up, karma didn't just punish Bob, it obliterated him. He lost his wife, his kids, his job, his home, and his future. All because he thought sneaking into cheap motels was worth more than the life he had. And the best part? I didn't have to raise my voice, throw a punch, or even confront him. Truth did all the damage for me. In the end, I learned something powerful. Revenge isn't about screaming or breaking things. It's about patience, about letting the truth carve justice deeper than any words ever could. I didn't win back my marriage, but I protected my kids and watched karma do what it does best. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone. And if you want more stories that prove karma never forgets, hit subscribe. Because trust me, this was just one of many.